Hey, what's going on, guys? Pixel Gadget here, bringing you another Ultra Kill video, game designer plays analysis video. So the last video did pretty darn good. People really responded very well to my commentary and on the design. I just wanted to talk about this intro sequence real quick and wanted to kind of break it down. So like, it's showing some different things than it did when I first booted it up. When I first booted it up, it just showed like settings things, I guess. And now it's got this whole sequence where it's like CPU, GPU, RAM, ROM check, and then blood, new blood interactive. Okay, pretty cool. I can't stop pointing out the attention to detail in this game. Basically, like even the part where it's like this game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore, which I don't even think the game needs to have that warning. I think he just had that in the game just cause. And like there's this little subtle sound effect where it's like violence and gore turn red, and the skull in the background, his jaw opens up, and there's a sound effect. That's really subtle, and I like it a lot. And then a fade to black. This loading screen, or no, this main menu, I actually am in love with. So I've been slowly picking up on like a vibe, or like what's the word, like a theme going on. So the main menu actually has this really bizarre kind of eerie piano theme going on, and it's kind of like haunting. It's very interesting. It's like not at all what I expect from this game, because obviously in game the music is like fast paced and crazy. So this game like is very interesting. It's got this weird kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like Overlook Hotel, like Shining vibes going on. Especially the music that comes up with like the store thing. We're gonna watch that in a sec. So, just saying, I really love this main menu. And basically, I had to replay the first level because I realized that actually a setting I like quickly clicked through at the first video. I put the difficulty to harmless actually, and I was like, oh, okay, so the game was like way easier than I thought. Well, turns out on the standard difficulty, this is a very different game than what I played in the beginning. Like, oh my god, it is a very different game. So here in the settings, I'm kind of trying to change the difficulty, and I realize I can't do it. I have to start over. The game, like when you do a playthrough, it makes you do a full restart. So I'm like, okay, I'll play through the first level. It was pretty short anyways. So yeah, just loving the UI settings. I like the background. Like they went all in on the robot theme, which I think is super cool. Even though in the actual gameplay there's no robots. Like you're fighting these like demonic undead creatures or whatever, but you as the player character being a robot is really cool. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do standard, because I tried harmless and that was like really way too easy. It's like a very different game. So I load into standard here, and I was surprised. Like, I'm so glad I'm recording this audio or this commentary after the fact, like after playing it, because my brain was fully occupied trying to. Oh, and then this was cool. I skipped the intro, and look, it dropped me right into the part with the hallway where you pick up the gun. That was so clean. Oh my gosh. Like I almost thought this was like a completely different level. But no, he just like was it like added this part where he cuts out the tutorial perfectly. That is seamless right there. Yep, right through this hallway, get the gun, game starts. I can't remember what that green bar is. I wanted to so yeah, the enemies are way faster and they're now lunging at me. I don't think they were lunging at me in the easy mode. So I quickly realized, oh, this is going to be like actually challenging. Like this is, oh, the left side is health bar. I wanted to comment on the UI and say how awesome it is. So this is a super fast-paced game. I actually designed a super fast-paced, four-player co-op shooter once upon a time with a team of people. And basically what we learned was we had to put important UI stuff in the center of the screen, because players just, their peripherals, they would not see what we were putting on the screen. I play tested like at least 30-40 times, and people just never could see the UI stuff I put in the center. And one of my programmers is like, let's just put in the center of the screen. And I was like, that's a genius idea. And that's what he did here. I'm guessing he play tested it. Here I take advantage of the meat grinding, like shooting the things, because I was like, oh, this is hard. I gotta actually like play this to win this. Drop those guys down there. That was good. But you can see, I feel like so clunky playing this game. I felt like such a noob. I could not hit my shots at all. Oh gosh. But yeah, he shows the health on the center, and then the stamina, I guess, like the dash on the in the center of the screen, and it disappears when you're not using it, which is a very good touch. It's not labeled, which is probably correct, but I wasn't able, it took me a while to realize, oh, like the left side is green and that's health. The reason why I guess I didn't put that together is the actual health bar in the left bottom left hand side of the screen is red. I guess it turns green when you get blood. The ranged enemies are totally different. The projectiles are faster, they shoot faster. It's crazy how different the game is. This is like, honestly, extremely good game design in a way I didn't expect to talk about it, where basically the difficulty setting is more than just like health. I'm just saying, like, if you've ever played Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, it notoriously had terrible like difficulty scaling, where basically all it did when you increase the difficulty was increase the enemy health, increase their damage, and that was it. And this game has definitely fundamentally changed the game between the difficulties. And what's cool about, yeah, the harmless difficulty, which what I was playing on last time, yeah, like I could definitely enjoy the game if I played it on that. But people recommending me I play it on brutal. To those people, what the frick, dude? This is hard enough for me. Standard mode, they're like, yeah, bro, you gotta play on brutal, bro. You'll enjoy the game. No, we're not doing that. This boss fight was hard as frick. I come into the level, he just blasts my health bar. Oh my god. This was actually so difficult. The first time we played, it was like easy mode. I was like fighting for my life here, and the music was like bopping. I was playing this game. I was like, oh yeah, this is what it was like to be on Adderall. Like I was remembering. I was like, yeah, this is what it was like. Okay, I wanted to talk about, yeah, like the design and stuff. So basically, okay, first level done. That was super cool. Just realizing that, oh, I was playing a different game. So okay, this new game we're playing. The first video is honestly null. Is like deprecated. It's a very fast-paced game, and I quickly realized that shooting the enemies was like the least effective thing I could do. So I just kept ground pounding the enemies, because I realized that as long as I'm in the air moving around, I'm pretty much safe from the enemies. Like the projectile enemies can't hit me if I'm dashing around in the air. The ground enemies definitely can't hurt me. Oh, this was so cool. So there's this like upgrade station at the beginning of the level, and there was like this haunting kind of the Shining like music playing. It was so weird. The contrast of the music was crazy, and the weirdest part is it actually worked. Like the aesthetic actually landed, and it was bizarre. I don't know how to explain it, but the aesthetic of like the creepy hotel vibe from this futuristic sci-fi shooter somehow landed, and I was like, oh, this game has like something to it that it's not showing me, and I'm getting the vibe from the music. It's like in a horror movie when the music changes and you're like, oh, something bad's about to happen or something good's about to happen. Kind of like that. The music was telling me something's going on here. Let's see about this. I was just testing it, like interacting with those buttons and stuff. I love this Smile OS 2.0. That was so clean, by the way. Like, not putting the player in a kind of menu, like upgrade menu scene. Here I was just messing with this new gun I got with the coin flipping. I had seen the coin flipping in videos, and I was like, that is the weirdest mechanic ever. But that little console is so elegant because it doesn't actually take direct control away from the player controller, which is actually genius, and I never thought about that. And the fact that it was so clean, like scroll wheel still controlled that screen, just clicking, didn't have to press E or anything. Here we go with back to the level. So I'm like I was thinking like, okay, I need to like shoot their oh, then I kill myself. Whoops. And I was curious because level 2 actually reused a room from the first level, this kind of hallway, and I was confused. I was like, "Oh, did I start the same level again or something?" That death and restart was like super seamless. That was super cool. Did you guys see that? There was like a little dude that ran through the hallway. That's like a classic horror game trick. Players walking down a hallway or something, illuminated doorway, and you have the monster kind of run past the hallway before the player can reach them, just so they see like a glimpse of the monster before the actual monster attack or whatever. This game is like blending genres like I had no idea it would. I honestly did not know what to expect when playing. That was cool. So the designer of this game is a freaking genius. The way he introduced this kind of crunching thing before actually putting it in the level, that's like S tier design. I'm honestly kind of like intimidated by the guy who designed this game because he's like teaching me stuff I either forgot about or haven't thought about in a long time or just didn't know at all. I'm like, gosh, this guy's like showing me up. I feel like, I'm supposed to be the expert designer. This game is crazy because I guess what's really exciting about then there was like that slow-mo. Did you see that? How the monster killed those guys again? That was great. He used the same trick twice, but whatever. This kind of confused me. I was like, what? Have I been here? This blue thing? What is this? I could not figure out for the life of me what that blue thing was. That symbol. I could not figure that out at all. Okay, but I was saying, like, oh, it's this blood and gore kind of shoot 'em up deal, whatever. And then on top of it, it's got this, like, kind of mysterious, intriguing aesthetic with the piano music and the creepy kind of music. And then it's got these like really cool design decisions. Just two things, right? Like environmental design, or I guess it would be like called flow design, where it's like you've got these mechanics. How does the player flow through the level, right? Yeah, the first thing showing that like crunching machine in a safe environment, and now it's kind of iterating on the crunching machine where it's got three of them in one room, spawns in a bunch of dudes. And I just start ground pounding at this point. I'm like, shooting is not working. I'm just going to crush everyone because I could shoot them, but my aim is not what it used to be. I remember when I was 13 years old, my aim was cracked, dude. It was so good. And it looks like that was the second level there. Okay, so I kind of run around in the start of the third level just so I could give my commentary self some time to cover what we were talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to go deeper into that. One of the cool things about linear shooters like this, where you have a lot of control over where the player is going and what they're doing, is for kind of set piece moments like that, where you can show the player very specific things. In that last scene, he showed us the crushing machine in a safe kind of environment. Here I get this other pistol, the sharpshooter, which I was curious about. I liked this, how basically God, it was just so clean, so polished. The way I could unequip, equip, change the slots. This whole setup was crazy to me. I was just kind of blown away at the elegance of that little store thing. I was experimenting with this whole spinning. Another thing I wanted to mention is the sound effects are sick in this game. I kind of was experimenting with the player controller and just the overall sound effects right now. So when you can see like there's no ammo UI. However, the guns themselves have the signifier on the actual back of the gun, that little like LCD screen. And yeah, like I can make out, I have a spin shot left or whatever, or that one has the battery, I can charge it up. That was super elegant too. Really like the minimalist UI design for this game. It's crazy. And then there was a sound effect for like when the charge up for this spinning gun, at least I tested. When you charge it up, or when it's charging up itself, there's like a little sound effect. And then also when you use up your blue stamina at the bottom left there, as it charges up again, it makes a little noise when it reaches like each of the ticks. So that was really sick. And then also jumping and landing had sound effects. Very good. Didn't notice that at the beginning. I noticed, however, when you land, there's like no lerping or animation for the gun, which I thought was a missed opportunity. Like, definitely jumping and landing are kind of events you want to really have a lot of feedback for. So I'm just surprised, I didn't have kind of minimalist animation, honestly. You can see there's some lerping, right? But when he lands on the ground, the gun does nothing. It stays pretty static. I guess no one really cares, right? He's got like 70,000 concurrent players at one point. I guess nobody cares. But I want to mention it because it would make the game feel a little more smooth. Really like the sliding. I noticed something here. I think I'm going to start testing in a sec, that when I'm pushing up against the walls, I move down slowly and there's like a metal scraping sound effect. That was super subtle. Very cool. I think the audio polish for this game blew my mind a lot this playthrough, this kind of analysis portion. I was so impressed with the attention to detail in that regard. And the fact that he was able to reuse basically the same revolver 3 times and make it kind of a unique gun, where the basic left shoot is the same every time, but you hold down right click for a very different effect. Super cool. You can tell that he was making the most of kind of his 3D models by just like changing colors and changing some basic stuff and mainly going in on mechanics. So that's super cool. Very cool. Really enjoyed this playthrough. Honestly, standard is too hard for me. I want to go down a difficulty, but at the same time, I feel like I have to play on standard because that's, someone in the comments said that's what the developer intended, or like that's what he plays on. And I was like, oh yeah, no, standard is more than enough difficulty for me. I do not need more difficulty in my game right now. Oh my gosh. I just woke up and I do not have the brain cells to do this. But anyways, okay, that concludes the analysis video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll be continuing to play this game through in future videos. So, all right, see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.